Okay, I'm sorry I went off. There was another purpose to what I'm trying to accomplish here, and I'm going off on a tangent. I I wanted to explain the you know what I was trying to accomplish with the rant that I posted, and I told people not to watch it, not because I didn't like what I said or was worried about anything. I the one thing that I in fact was afraid of was I didn't want people to think that I was name calling or insulting, you know, people in the VC or anybody that would be potentially watching, because I was not meaning to insult anybody with any of the profanity or name calling that I said. I was making a point about Revolver magazine and the issue that I have with it. And if you read Revolver again, it's not an issue with you or anybody else that reads it. The thing is, because I've read it and I've continued to read it because it's basically in the United States, it's been one of the bigger mainstays in this category of music, but it has definitely changed from even to the time when they, if you go back older issues, they didn't do this hottest chicks in hard rock and heavy metal stuff. And I've been reading Revolver magazine for a long time, and so I have documented history of the change and everything. So I'm not taking issue with readers of Revolver or people in the VC or anything like that. It's just this one issue that I do not like because I do not feel that it adds to the music itself. I understand why they do it. Okay, I'm not naive. I was not born yesterday. I get it. And I realize it's important to them because they're trying to make money by selling the magazine. I get it. I'm not an idiot. And if I was in their position, I'd probably do the same thing. Okay, but if I was going to be doing a metal magazine, it'd be completely different. And unfortunately, the the really good stuff is harder to get because a lot of it comes out of the UK, namely being Terrorizer magazine. Um, Great, and it deals with a lot. 99% of what is discussed in that publication isn't discussed in Revolver. And that's one of the reasons why I like it. They go into areas that I do not particularly care for, like the satanic black metal, for example. I'm not into that, and have never been and never will be because primarily because of my religious background. And before anybody gets up in arms about the supposed hypocrisy with Slayer and how that may be unusual, there's a definite there's an explanation for that, and I can discuss it if people wish. But again, it's you know before anybody says anything foolish, there is an explanation for that, but now is not the time. Um, Finally, getting into finishing up this thought, I wanted to highlight the music that I was talking about from these female either artists, in certain bands, or the members of these bands, and that's what really this is for. So apologies for this long introduction about everything. Um, okay, now basically from the very beginning, these groups you've got groups like Girl School, for example. You got the Runaways. You've got Joan Jett, who I've shown here. I won't pull out because of course it's just, at this point it's just the 12-inch single in the black sleeve. And I've shown this before, but you've got Lita Ford here, and again, she used that image. Doro Pesh also used the image, and some say it worked. The music is still good, and that's what I focused on. There's a lot of other examples. One of my favorites being Arch Enemy. I don't have any of their material to this point because of financial reasons, and with the availability of the internet, it's easier to get stuff, but I don't always want to go to eBay or Amazon to get that stuff. And where I'm at geographically, it does make it a lot difficult because you can't really find that stuff at Walmart, and that's basically all I have access to. In fact, I don't even have that. I got a Kmart access to. They don't, and I don't carry that stuff. And but the thing is, there are some other bands that I want to discuss. You got Lacuna Coil. This is Karma Code, and Christina has a beautiful voice. She's a beautiful woman, but there's beyond that. She has a beautiful voice. Personally, I don't think it necessarily fits the heavy metal style. They're definitely a different sound. It definitely sounds good, but in my opinion, when they brought in the second singer, and I forget his name off the top of my head, that made the sound a lot better, and they sound a lot better. But she still sounds. It sounded incredible before, and I was able to see them on one tour. I forget. It was one of the Ozfests, and I think it may have been. Oh shoot! Maybe it was 2007, the Free Fest, one of those two. And I've seen them. I've seen them again. Maybe they may have been on 2010 also, because I did see them up close, because for 2010 I was in the mosh pit, and so I did see them up close. But I'm forgetting right now. I'm tired of. It's been a heck of a week. I got finals next week, and it's getting But anyway, continuing on, a Taiwanese black metal band, Catonic, also seen at Free Fest. I know it's difficult to see the album cover. It's extremely dark on the cover itself. Sedig Bale is the name of the album. Came out in 2007. Here's also one of my favorites, Walls of Jericho. Candace is amazing as the front woman for this band, and my interest had nothing to do from the look. Initially, I was opposed to this kind of thing because I saw it at the time as a gimmick. But with the evolution, it's gotten a lot better, and it's not a gimmick. The women in these bands can absolutely kick ass. And she is amazing on stage. Absolutely amazing on stage. And to wrap up this, near 25 minutes or so whole deal here, um, probably my favorite, which is Shemaya Otep from Otep. Um, and, and here's a highlight. Um, again, amazing as a singer, and even on the shouting vocal style, which I don't particularly care for a lot of the times because it's difficult for me to hear, and that's one of the things I struggle with death metal and getting into it so much, because if I have issues understanding the vocals and what they're saying, I have hard time getting into it, you know, unless there's, you know, unless the music is very catchy and there's a rhythm to it. But this is one exception to that because it's actually one I can understand. And, the lyrics are amazing. And, it's just definitely, you know, definitely worth a band that's worth getting into. And that's all I've got as far as the music goes. I hope that I've made things more clear with what my point was, and I don't know how to make it any clearer. But this is what I was trying to get across. Not to insult anybody, just to, bring attention to the original fact that metal is supposed to be dark, scary, rebellion, and not about how the bands look. Image is important, but not in the makeup and how you dress and all that other stuff. That's not part of it because that's just a mask for a sucky sound. Um, Hiding behind it, with bands like that's one of the reasons why I don't like Slipknot, and I know I'm going to get ripped up for that also because with the immediate example, there are certain songs from Slipknot I do like. I have seen them live, and they are amazing live. They are an amazing band, even though I don't particularly care for them. They are amazing. I saw them live at an Ozfest, and they were one of the best of the day by far because they put so much into their live shows. But I find that the way they're portrayed in Gore and like Mushroomhead also is that the masks and the makeup get put on magazine covers and the album covers, and that's the focus. And everything again. And you watch or listen to interviews with Black Sabbath, Rob Halford, Lemmy, and on and on and on. Rock and roll, heavy metal is about rebellion, scaring people, not about what it was, eventually turned into during the 1980s with, your glam bands and all that other stuff. That's not me talking, that's them, the originators of the whole thing. That, of this thing that we commonly know as heavy metal. All right, I'm all done. Thanks, everybody.